So you need a chair that doesn't have arms. So make sure that your chair, and this is okay. So this chair, if you can see, has it goes a little bit towards the front. That's okay. Have with you either a towel, blanket, throw blanket, something like a blanket. If you don't have a yoga block, that's okay. You can use a book. You can use a full roll of paper towels works, and have a pillow. And if you don't need any of these things, by the way, they're just good to have. So don't start running around unless that you know exactly where they are and they're handy. But having a belt or a yoga strap or a sash or a scarf would be great as well. And then in the end, we're going to need a pillow. So just grab a pillow from your couch or a pillow from the bed. It could be a throw pillow, could be a small pillow, big pillow. It all works. So while you're grabbing those things, if you don't have them handy, I know I have a lot of new people in today's intro class. I just wanted to introduce myself. So my name is Anita Greenwald. I am recently, well, now it seems like it's a year ago already, but a certified yoga teacher. Before I became a yoga teacher, I had been doing yoga for, I think I figured it out that it's well over 40 years. I started when I was in college doing yoga on a regular basis, and this was something that was sort of a lifelong goal, to take the time in life and become a yoga teacher. So I did that. I'm also a health coach. And I'm so happy to have you here. Once a month, I will be doing a half-hour intro to chair yoga class for anybody who likes. And I do teach chair yoga every Wednesday at 10 o'clock for 45 minutes. And that's more of a full class where you move your whole body. It's still gentle. It's for everyone. So if you like what you see today and want to join us tomorrow, there's still room in the class. Obviously, it's on Zoom. So come join me again tomorrow. So yoga. So if you don't know about yoga, yoga is really a dance. I won't go into a lot of detail because I want to get us to move and just try a little bit of movement today. But I want to just explain that yoga is not only about the positions, and it's really also about the body-mind connection. It's a dance between strength and relaxation, the breath and the movement. So when we move, I will always be cueing the breath. So I might say, raise your hands and inhale, exhale, let them down, because you want to try to focus on the breath. Yoga is also, for me anyway, at my age, and yours, and most of the people that I work with, it's about function and mobility. So when you do yoga and going through life in that way, when you do yoga and we work on shoulders and opening the chest, we all sit at desks, and in life, our spines get compressed. Our shoulders get rounded because we're in front of computers and phones and just watching TV, and we slump in a chair or a couch. Yoga is about expanding your body. So when we rise, we lengthen the spine and we try to get a little fluff in between the vertebrae to make ourselves a little bit taller. And we have our shoulders go back and we work on the shoulders. And all of this is so that we're better with mobility. We balance. So for those of you who can, and we will be doing it in the chair, but I will also at the very end of class take those who can stand up and hold on to a chair out of the chair to practice a little bit of balance. Because if you practice balance, then maybe you won't fall and hurt your hip. So it's all about function and mobility. And it's really great for us as we age to just keep on moving. Safety. So I can't see you. I see your little boxes, but honestly, I am so far back from the computer that I can't really see what you're doing. So I want you to know a couple of things. First of all, there's a couple of obvious issues that you might have medically and what it means for yoga. If you have high blood pressure, and you probably know this, you shouldn't be raising your hands over your head. So if you have high blood pressure, when I take my hands overhead, just keep your hands shoulder height, keep your hands on your hips, put them down by the chair. Don't listen to me if I go overhead. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, there are two schools of thought. One is that it's great to do these movements to strengthen your back. I just want to keep us very safe. So if those two issues, osteoporosis, osteopenia, are yours, there's no rounding of the back or the neck. So if I tell people to look up and you round the back of your neck, don't do that. Keep your neck in line with your spine. And there will come a time when I'm talking about rounding your back in a position. Don't round your back, keep your back straight. So you know what you have, you know what you can do. The main thing for all of you is that if you are walk around in life and you have zero pain, that's amazing. I do not want you to feel any pain. Yoga should not be painful. It takes you sometimes to the edge to challenge your body, but you should never feel pain. And if you already feel any pain in your body, a lot of us have knee issues or hip issues or shoulder or whatever, you don't want to increase that pain. If you feel any additional pain to the normal pain in your life, I'm sorry if you have any, but don't go there. Back it off. That's important. Okay, safety out of the way. Like I said earlier, I'm going to set you up in your chair and then we're going to just breathe for a moment. So, in your chair, you do not want to be here. I'm going to turn the chair to the side so you can see. You do not want to be leaning with your hips all the way back so that you can lean back. You want to have at least a hip, a fist distance between you and the back of the chair so that you're holding your back up straight. I think I'm going to leave myself sideways so you can see, and I'll just keep turning. So you want to be sitting so that your feet can hit the floor. You want to be sitting so your hips are stable in the chair, not touching the back of the chair. Now, here's where your blanket comes in. I want you to look at your knees and your hips. I am pretty well established evenly here. If your knees are lower than your hips, I want you to take your blanket or your towel, whatever you have, and place it under your feet to raise your knees up to the height of your hips. If your hips are lower than your knees, and we all are different bodies, some of us are 5 feet tall, some of us are 5 feet 10. So, and our legs are different. So it doesn't have to do with anyone else on this Zoom. It has to do with you. Your legs might be, your knees might be higher than your hips. And if that's the case, put the blanket on the chair under your hips. We just want to sort of even out our body. Okay, we're going to move. So I want you to place your hands on your lower belly. I always like to start with a breath before we do that. Hips. I want you to align your body so that your body is straight and aligned. Hips, rib cage, shoulders, all in a straight line. Put your shoulders back a little bit so that your back is not rounded as best as can be. And your head is smack in the middle. I'm going to face forward for the breathing part. So your head is smack in the middle of your shoulders. If your head is leaning forward, believe it or not, your head, which weighs 10 or 12 pounds, just became double that, maybe more, depending on the angle of your head as you try to hold it up. When you place your head smack in the middle of your shoulders, your head is much lighter and it's easier to hold and you're not straining your neck. So let's just do that. Then place your hands on your belly. I want you to just, if closing your eyes is comfortable for you, close your eyes. If not, find just a place to look at, to gaze straight in front of you. And then you're going to have a soft gaze so that your gaze is really inward and you're not really looking at anything. Focus on your breath. Feel your breath. You're going to try to breathe through your nostrils. Notice the breath. Notice the pace of the breath. Notice where you're taking oxygen in. Most of us only breathe to 1/7 of our lung capacity. So what I want you to do now with your hands on your lower belly is very gently inhale through the nostrils and fill the belly. So it might take 4 seconds to do it. We're going to breathe in through the nostrils. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. See if you can get those hands and have them move with the breath. See if you can fill up your lungs so that it goes and expands your diaphragm, expands your belly and goes all the way down. And then exhale it. 2 more times. Inhale. See if you can Push that belly out with the inhale and exhale. Last time. And exhale. Put your hands on your knees. Check your alignment so that you're in line over your hips. Plant your feet into the floor. So spread your toes. You could, if you're wearing shoes, that's okay. Do it inside your shoes and push your feet into the floor. Push your hips into the chair. In yoga, we talk about rooting and rising. So we're rooting our bottom body into the chair and we're gonna rise up. So hands come up if you can. As you inhale, keep your neck straight. Your gaze is still right in front of you. And then exhale, let those arms come down. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Your hands are on the sides of the chair. We're going to take our shoulders and bring them up to your ears where they shouldn't be in life, and then let them release. Again, one more time, bring the shoulders up to the ears and release. And we're gonna do some shoulder circles. So take the shoulders, bring them back, and then bring them forward and around a few times. And then go in the opposite direction. In yoga, we always have to keep our bodies even. So if we go in one direction and we use the right side, then we have to do the other side. We're gonna do some neck rolls. So this time you're keeping your shoulders down away from the ears, but you're gonna bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. So it's the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Inhale, and then exhale, you drop the chin to the chest. And inhale, come back to the other side. Exhale, come to chin to chest. Inhale, ear to right shoulder. It doesn't matter, by the way, right or left, just as long as you do both sides. So we're just doing a few of these. They're neck rolls. We don't bring our neck back. We just go forward and side to side. And then come center. We're just going to stretch out our hands and our wrists and our fingers. So bring your hands straight in front of you. Now, there's two ways to do this, right? You can keep your body, your upper body relaxed and your arms relaxed, your elbows are a little bent and your hands feel the energy, or you can energize your entire arm and it becomes an isometric exercise. I just brought it out to the side so you can see the difference of a relaxed arm straight out versus an energized arm. So our fingers are spread wide. We're in a web position. Breathe here, keep your hands, your arms energized, bring your shoulders back, and then claws. So some of you have arthritis, and if you have arthritis, this is a really good thing to do. It might hurt a little bit, but it's really good to get those joints moving. So claw your hands. Make beaks with your hands. Use that opposing thumb, and then pause. So fists, and then actually be like you're pushing those fists into a wall, energize your arms. All right, we're gonna move the spine in 7 directions. So we've done this a couple times. Inhale, bring your arms up, and now lift the vertebrae. See if you can gain a ½ an inch in your spine. Try to keep your shoulders away from your ears as we do this, even though our arms are raised, but we're lengthening the spine. Great. Put your hands on your thighs, let them slide down, and you're gonna bend at the hip flexor. So you're bending where your thighs meet your hips, not at your waist. If you can only go this far, that's fine. Just bend with a very straight spine. If you can let your stomach touch your thighs, that's great. It all depends on flexibility. Some of us are here, it doesn't really matter. Wherever you are is great. It's not about flexibility, it's about mobility. So that means that wherever you are, you're taking it to the edge of where you are and you're allowing your body to use that and become more functional and more mobile. 7 directions of the spine. We went forward, we went up. Now we're leaning back. So you might want to take your hands and place them at the back of the chair and hold yourself. Keep a very straight spine. Your neck is in line with the spine as you lean back. Now, put your right hand on the side of the chair you're holding there. Your left arm comes up over by your ear or on your waist, whatever's comfortable for you. This is not about the shoulder, this is about the side. We're leaning to the right. or a right side stretch. It's actually stretching your left side as we bend to the right. It's always the opposite of what you're doing. When you're leaning forward, you're stretching the back. When you're leaning back, you're stretching the front. Put your left hand down on the side of the chair, hold the chair, bring the right arm up, and let's lean towards the left. Great. So we're going to do a little twist, and I learned something new. I'm again in yoga teacher training to go a little deeper. And what we're going to do is take your hips up off the chair and turn to the side. I'm going to bring the chair so that you can see when I'm doing it on this side. So whichever the side you want to start with, your legs are on the side of the chair, your hips are centered. Again, they're not touching the back. You're going to take your right hand or whatever hand is closer to the back of the chair and bring it all the way to the other side of the chair. And your, in my case, left hand touches the other back. So it's as if you're holding the chair. If you were facing the chair, you'd be holding it straight ahead. And we're going to inhale. And as you inhale, don't try to twist yet. Just get long, the way we did when we added some space in between our vertebrae. Lift up, lift the spine, get tall. And as you exhale, see if you can twist, trying to face your arms. Now you're pushing with your right hand and you're pulling with your left. So this is new. This is a new kind of side twist that I just learned. Normally I was sitting face forward in the chair. And breathe. As you inhale, get tall, and as you exhale, see if you can relax and go a little further. And come center. Well, not really center, but we're going to go to the other side. So this time I'm going to do this way. You're going to see my back, but you're going to see me as we twist. So just to the other side of the chair. Now my left hand is holding the outside of the chair behind me. My right arm is here. We inhale, we get tall. And as we exhale, we turn to face the back of the chair. We are using the hand, I don't know if you're doing right or left, but further away from us to push against, and we're pulling with the hand that's closer to our body for a twist. And as we inhale, we always get tall. And as we exhale, we see if we can go a little further. And release. Okay. Those were the 7 directions of the spine. We're going to do a little cat-cow. So we're still going to work on our spine just a little bit more. Hands are on your knees. So these positions are called cat and cow, and you'll see why they're called that. When you think about a cat, you think about it's rounding its back. So we're going to pull the navel into the spine, round your back, tuck your chin. Hands are on your thighs. And then you actually bring the navel towards your knees. You're sticking your tailbone out behind you, and your head comes up, and you're looking up sort of where the wall meets the ceiling. And we go back between those two. We inhale when our navel comes forward, and we exhale as we go into cat. And it's just warming up the spine. Now, come neutral. Let's just work on our legs. If you have a belt or a strap, now's the time to grab it. First, let's take or if you don't have one, it's fine. Take your right leg and see if you could hug it to your body and see if you can flex that foot. Just hug the knee. Take the strap or belt if you have one and wrap it around the ball of the foot, and then allow the leg to come forward. Now, if you don't have one, that's fine. You can just hold your leg by your calf, by your knee, by your thigh, wherever, and see if you can straighten out your leg. Point and flex the foot. Because we don't want to forget the legs just because we're sitting in a chair. And release the right leg. Let's bring the left leg, knee to chest. Bring the leg straight out. Use a strap if you have one. Hold it with both hands. Point and flex the toes. Great. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of flowing. So I want you to take your hips up and turn to the side of the chair. So we're turning towards the right. Take your right hand, hold the chair behind you. Take your left hand and bring it to heart center. So it's sort of half prayer hands, and your elbow is up and straight out. Take your left hip, so the one that's on the edge of the chair, and let it drop. You can leave your knee right here. You can place your foot on a block. If your leg can go straight out, that's great. And the toes may be pointed at a 45-degree angle for warrior one. So you can do everything that people do on a mat, on the floor, in a chair. This is warrior one. Take that back foot and turn the toes so they're facing straight ahead. Or just leave your knee like this if that was comfortable. Do what's comfortable, no pain. And take the left hand and bring it out behind you and the right hand in front of you, and your gaze is over the right hand for warrior two. We let that left hand go down the thigh and the right arm comes overhead, or it's on your waist. You might want to just take it and go to your ribs as you open up the ribs so that your chest is open. This is all about function. We're opening up the chest, opening our heart, and throwing our shoulders back so that our posture becomes better. And then take the right arm and allow it to bend and lay the forearm over the front thigh as your arm comes up overhead for a straight line, fingertips to the outside of the pinky tip for side angle pose. Come back to center, hands on hips. We're turning and bringing our hips so that we're centered and our legs are in a wide angle pose. So the heels are on the inside, the toes are facing out. If you have a block or a paper towel, you're going to place it right in the center. If you're on a paper towel, you're going to hold it up the tall way. You're going to put your left hand down on the block or the paper towel or the book. You're going to have a straight back. So you're bending at the hip flexor, not the waist. And if you need some more height, then just put your hands on your, put your left hand on your right knee. But if you can bend to the degree that the block allows you to, raise your right hand to the sky. So we're twisting in a wide angle forward bend. Breathe here, don't hold your breath, make sure you're breathing. And then we're gonna switch arms. So the right arm comes down onto the block and the left arm goes to the sky. Hands come onto your knees, bring yourself straight up. We have to do the other side. So if you were like me and you did the right side, we're turning now towards the left. You're going to hold on to the back of the chair with your left hand. Allow the right hip to drop off the chair. You're still very stable. We want to make sure you're stable all the time. You can take that block. You can bring it to your knee if that's comfortable. You can have your foot back. If you can take that leg straight out, that's great. 45-degree angle on the foot. Right hand comes to heart center. The torso is up over the hips and straight for warrior one. Deep breath. Turn the foot so that it's facing the front of the room and wheelhouse that right arm back behind you. The left arm comes straight out. Put some energy into your arms. Again, it's an isometric exercise. You can just allow your arms to float. It's still hard enough to keep them at this shoulder height. But if you put some energy in, you're working out your arms at the same time. In warrior two, so this is warrior two, we like to say the front arm is headed towards the future and the back arm is in the past and you are in the present because it's all you can think about. You can't think about anything while you're trying to hold this position. Take that right arm and let it slide down your leg. As your left arm comes over into peaceful warrior, deep breath. Take your forearm, place it on the thigh as the right arm comes over your head. So you have a straight line from the pinky toe side of the straight foot to the fingers of the right hand. Come back to warrior two. And then we're going to take our hips and bring them face forward again into wide angle pose. This time, we're going to put our arms into goddess arms. So goddess arms, if you do that again, so if you take your arms and bring them to goddess arms, you can almost feel, you can't, it's not almost, you feel your shoulders going down your back. This is a way to integrate the shoulders so that they go and they're going towards each other on the back of your body, which is great for opening up your chest and taking, so we're not sitting there round shouldered. It helps with posture. You're just going to turn to the right, come center, turn to the left. Come center. Hands on your thighs, bring your legs together. So this is a really short class, I know, and there's so much that I want to do with you. And if you come back tomorrow, we will do pigeon. We'll do a little bit more of this kind of flow. This is really an intro class. But I promised a balance pose, which is so important for function and mobility. If you have a hard time with balance standing, even though we're going to hold on and you'd like to stay in the chair, your choice. I'll show you first in the chair. So our legs are pressed into the floor. Our hips are placed into the chair. We're going to transfer the weight of our legs and press the left foot into the floor and take the right foot so that it's up onto the balls of your feet. And then turn the foot a little towards the heel, towards the inside of that left leg. And if you can, we're going to lift the right leg, slide it up. You're balanced. Now you have a choice. You can hold on to the chair. Try to keep your torso straight. Bring your hands to heart center. This is a balanced position. Stay here if you can. If you need to take the leg down, take a breath, come back up. If you'd like to stand, come to the side of your chair so your left hand is holding the chair. Take your right foot. First of all, transfer the weight into your left foot. Ground the toes, ground the foot, all four parts of the foot into the floor. Spread the toes wide. Take the right foot, come up to the ball of the foot. Turn the foot towards the inside of the left leg and slide it up. You might just want to be right there. You could leave your foot on, you could stay on the ball of the foot and just balance that way by just transferring the weight, or you can come up the leg, or if you can, bring it to the inside of the thigh. Now, my right leg is different. I can do it on the other side, can't do it on this side. This is balance. So take the right hand and bring it to heart center. If you'd like to try to let go of the chair, you can do that. Prayer position hands. Okay, release. And you can do that anytime in your life. I like to talk about doing it while you're brushing your teeth. Just try to lift one leg up. So for those of you in the chair, just switch legs, do it on the other side. For those of you standing, come to the other side of the chair, hold on with the right foot, transfer the weight onto the right foot, spread the toes, turn the foot, the left foot, so it's facing, the heels facing the inside of the foot, and slowly bring, you might need to help it, bring the inside of the foot to the inside of the calf, the inside of the thigh, just not the inside of the knee. You might want to let go if you can. Try not to jut the hips out. Try to focus on keeping your torso alignment. And if your foot comes down, whether you're in the chair or standing, just smile. This is about you and working on your mobility. You can let your branches swing in the breeze. You can let one branch swing in the breeze. You can bring your hands back to goddess so that you're integrating the shoulders, and then slowly release the leg. Come to the chair. So we have a couple of minutes left. This is a quick class, 30 minutes. So tomorrow's 45. Take your pillow. In yoga, you probably have heard about this if you've never done a yoga, even if you've never done a yoga class. We end our class with a Savasana. A Savasana, some people like to say, as my husband would say, we fall asleep. We're not sleeping. We're allowing the body to rest and integrate what we just did. So take your pillow, allow it to come onto your lap. Your hands are on your lap, palms up. That just, in yoga, that shows that you're open, you're grateful, you're allowing energy to flow. You, at this point, even though your hips are a fist behind within, from the back of the chair, you're going to allow your back to rest on the back of the chair. You're going to let your chin come down to your chest in whatever degree is comfortable. Close your eyes or a soft gaze in front of you and just breathe. And as you're here, scan the body for tension. This is where you want no tension. So start with your feet and work your way up the legs. And if you feel tension anywhere in the body, this is where you just want to consciously try to release and relax that part of the body. Feel where your hips are on the chair. Is there any tension there? We tend to squeeze our glutes. Let go if you are. Work your way up to ribs, shoulders, your jaw, behind your eyes, your arms, your fingers. And we'll be here for just a little bit in silence. And start wiggling your fingers and your toes. Remove the pillow. It was a really quick Savasana, I'm sorry, but we're running out of time. Hands to your heart center. In yoga, we say namaste when we end a class. And namaste simply means that the light in me sees the light in you. I'm honored and grateful that you spent this morning with me. I hope that you like yoga. And I promise a slower moving class. I had a lot I wanted to give you an intro to this morning. Come back tomorrow. You're all now added to my email list. You'll get invitations to all the yoga classes that I do. I teach about 3 a week. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.